Hey, so the Jets beat the Titans. Will Levis. See, I didn't bet on you this week. I bet on you last week because you were better than the Bears. The Titans are a good football team, ironically. The Titans are a good football team. Will Levis, I don't even have to show y'all the video. I just got to show y'all the still. This was a pass. Y'all see this picture? Y'all see that picture over there? It's a pass. A pass. He is parallel to the ground, and he is flicking the ball backwards, and it was a pass. And that ended up costing them the game. Again, 2 weeks in a row, and your coach said it was dumb. He's a grown-up, and he knows better. This is the same coach that said, you need to know better after last week doing that stupid same thing. It just ended up in a pick instead of a fumble. And you lost. Denard Hopkins ain't going to stand for this. Tell you that. Them 30-plus receivers, you better get it. Better figure it out quick.
I don't understand this, to me, honestly. It's a young quarterback. Young quarterback make dumb decisions. I mean, hell, we saw Kirk Cousins make some dumb decisions today. If you're expecting him to be an adult, and if you expect him to be a grown-up, then you're sadly mistaken. He's not a grown-up. And if the expectation is for him to be a grown-up, then you're going to lose.
Every time.
That's the reason I'm saying that it never made sense to me. Your receivers are on one timeline. Your quarterback is on a different timeline. It doesn't match up.
And, we're going to get there. You don't really have a backup quarterback, do you? Your backup quarterback, you traded to Green Bay.
I'm sure they got a backup. Somebody.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about somebody that could, if you decide to bench Levis. Because if he does this for a third game, you got to give up Traylon Burks. That's who you trade. Traylon Burks for Russell Wilson. There it is, because you already got two receivers. That's the trade. Because Will Levis ain't it, y'all. This 6'4", 225, and the thing is, he's 6'4", 225, Kentuckian white dude.
I'm not saying that Will Levis ain't it. I'm saying that he needs some time to develop, like every quarterback. Or you're just going to be in the perpetual. I mean,
the Panthers.
Yes, I didn't want to go back to that, but yeah, you're going to be in the same situation. Your backup is Mason Rudolph, who specializes in racism
and getting retribution.
And I think that y'all probably don't y'all play the Browns. He might not want to be out there.
Smack you with the helmet. I brought this here because we're gonna talk about this quickly. If there's ever been a 2-0 team that I don't believe in, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That defense is real, yes. That offense has not scored a touchdown. That offense has not scored a touchdown. They scored a touchdown. I'm sorry, they scored one touchdown. Darnell Washington, UGA. Shout out to you. Finally using the 6'8", 270-pound behemoth of a man that runs a 4.6. They finally started throwing him the ball. I don't understand it. Sounds familiar. 2 wins. Justin Fields, who looks like the Justin Fields we know and love, or don't love, can't really throw the ball in the middle of the field, but can only throw out routes. But that defense is for real, and they are 2-0 with 1 touchdown.
Well, this is a little tricky to me anyway.
Big trick bag. Ain't no little tricks.
Well, the reason I say it's tricky is what expectations do you have for Justin Fields, who was basically getting the number 2 reps all summer, all training camp, and then you throw him in and expect him to be a 1? No, it's not. He's getting the reps that he should have been getting the whole time. Now, the reason that this doesn't make a ton of sense is Russ has been hurt for a while. Y'all should have.
But Russ ain't hurt, though. Russ was out there warming up before the game when they told him he's going to be inactive.
Now that is some people have been looking at that behavior like it's a little unhinged too. And
yeah, and he got into it with Tomlin on the sideline with the Falcons in the Falcons game. They brought that up. The thing with what I understand about them starting Justin Fields over Russ is at this point, it sounds like to me Russ didn't take the job. It sounds like to me Russ was supposed to come here for a year. Justin Fields was supposed to be there, and they were going to get Justin Fields for the cheap, and they were going to let him sit and learn under Russ, or not even learn under Russ, but let him sit and learn Arthur Smith's offense, because Arthur Smith's offense technically is tailor-made for Justin Fields. He don't really throw the ball over the middle. He does a lot of play-action pass, quarterback runs. He throws out routes. But Russ didn't. He either got hurt, like you said, he got hurt, and Justin Fields hasn't lost. And I think they're going to end up going with, because you can't bring Russ in and then they lose. If you bring Russ back in week 3 and they lose, now it's like, well, damn, we 2-0 with Justin Fields. Unless you score 50 points. If you score 50 points and lose, then yeah, but that's not going to happen.
I mean,
yes, this ain't a Russ offense either.
If you score 21 to 28 points, if you score a touchdown or two, you should be like, don't fall in love with the wins. Just because she's available when you need her doesn't mean she's a good woman.
Yeah, there's a joke that I cannot say, but
go ahead, turn it up.
Sometimes you don't need a good woman. Sometimes you just need to win. You just need a win. Sometimes it's been a long time. You had a terrible woman before. Yeah, Kenny Pickett before now. Remember? Yeah, Pickett.
Yeah.
And Mason Rudolph. You had two bad and not in the good way bad women. If you want to keep with that. So now, hey, I've been out the game in a terrible relationship for the last 2 years. I need to get some wins. I need to go to I'm going to stop that joke right there. I need to go to a place that I'm not normally frequenting. Yeah. And I'm going to get a win. Sometimes you got to stick with the W's.
Slump buster.
Slump buster. So I do like how they're trying to stick behind Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, especially Justin Fields. I think we all know that Russ got kind of done dirty last year by Denver. And Sean Payton, which we will have a conversation about pretty soon. We can have to talk about it now. He said gave Russ the petty game ball because it's great getting the dub for Russ. I want to talk about Sean Payton real quick. Sean Payton, outside of the Drew Brees 4-year run, right? 4 year? Might have been 6, might have been 8 years. Sean Payton, when we talk about quarterbacks that aren't that great without a number one receiver, right? You weren't that great without a number one receiver, or it was really the coach that made you good. Sean Payton has been caca without Drew Brees. Absolutely awful. Horrible. Terrible. Same team around, just no Drew Brees. Absolutely awful. And again, I brought this up because a lot of the coaches nowadays say I can win with anyone. That's the Shanahan motto. That's the McVay motto. That's the Sean Payton motto. Mike McCarthy used to be like that. Andy Reid. I can make somebody conform to my offensive playbook and win. Sean Payton, you got Bo Nix, who we all knew was just an absolutely awful pick. At 10, you picked him at 10. He was supposed to be like a 5th round. That's the equivalent. It's even worse. I don't even have an equivalent. And you thought you was gonna win. 6 points later, and you traded Jerry Jeudy. Don't matter. Remember, you buy the groceries, so you traded Jerry Jeudy, Russell Wilson, and kept all that boo boo. We're gonna talk about you, Sean. Don't forget.
You're gonna go on that list right next to the guys who I've told you to keep an eye on. minus. Who am I about to pull off my list? Oh, David Carr gonna make me. Derek Carr, David Carr, whatever Carr that is. He gonna make me pull him off the list. But Sean Payton and Bo Nix, we watching you.
No, we're not.
Hold on, wait. Trevor Lawrence, you on watch. Daniel Dimes, you ain't even on watch no more. They finna send an Amber Alert because you finna go missing. Any minute now.
Show up in the river. Yeah, boy. So this game, I don't know what to think about the Steelers. I know their defense is really, really good. Like, really good. That offense is atrocious. George Pickens, who's on my fantasy football team, 4 catches, 20 yards. Patrick Surtain, right. Hey, Falcons. He eventually going to want to leave there. Go ahead and go get him. I brought this up earlier. Colts, Packers. Colts with a good defense. Only allowed 16 points. Packers, 10 points. I'm sorry, Colts, 10 points. Packers only allowed 10 points. Malik Willis gets the game ball for winning and throwing his first career touchdown.
And surviving with the ball that was thrown up on.
George.
And to me, I want to give his
own play. Yeah.
I want to give LaFleur a lot of credit here. This is how you coach a team with a quarterback that is clearly unprepared. You did it. And the Colts defense ain't no slouch. You got EJ Speed over there. You got Zaire Franklin. That defense ain't bad. Now, Anthony Richardson, come on into my office, my boy. I love you. I've doubled down on you. You are my quarterback for my fantasy football team. These picks got to stop. You can't do that. You can't continuously throw 2 or 3 picks a game. That's not going to be able to fly, especially in a game that you only lose by 6 points. You have to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. If there's anybody who you can learn from on that tip, is Jameis Winston. Because they, especially as a black quarterback, they will bury you. And I think that Jameis has been good enough to start for multiple teams for multiple seasons. But it's just like they just not interested in giving him another chance. So you have to govern yourself accordingly and make better decisions. But this is the same reason I'm not. I mean, Anthony Richardson and Will Levis done some things right, done some things wrong. But in both cases, you keep playing them. Same thing I'm going to say about Bryce Young. Keep playing them. These kids are going to make mistakes. Peyton Manning just talked about how he's ready to give up that interception, that rookie interception record. Ready. It's a part of the game. But if you continuously jump starting your team with a new quarterback and going in a different direction, you're never going to have any direction. You're going to continuously fail. Cleveland Browns.
Jonathan Taylor had 12 rushes for 103 yards. I don't see how you only have 12 rushes if you're averaging 8.6 yards a carry.
That's a fantastic question. Fantastic question.
And then you throwing the ball 34 times. It's not like you are down a bunch of points. The score was 16-10. Shane Steichen.
You're not getting smoked.
Shane Steichen. Norwood has championed you as much as he's championed Anthony Richardson. That is inexcusable.
Yeah, that won't get you invited back to the Coach of the Year conversation.
6 sacks?
Not even close.
No, I'm sorry. 1 sack. 1 sack for 6 yards. Anthony Richardson averaged 6 yards a pass, a completion. 6. If I had Jonathan Taylor and he's averaging 8.6 yards a carry and Anthony Richardson is averaging 9.3, let me tell you what we running. Veer, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's been such a good, consistent back. Now, they probably don't want to throw him right in there to the Wolves and get him right back to 15-plus carries because of his injury. But if you expect Anthony Richardson to be successful, he needs to be at 15 to 20 carries a game. That's going to help you manage the time of possession, and you're going to be able to do play action, which will vastly help Anthony Richardson, who I've told y'all before, not great on crossing routes. I'm going to just go ahead and say that. But if you allow him to play action and deep ball you, he'll kill you. I think he's more than competent at doing that. But you got to put him in a position to win.
Dog, EJ Speed and Zaire Franklin had 21 tackles, and Nick Cross had another 15. It was just those three. The defense, again, the Colts are good. Again, Anthony Richardson, I kept saying, you're going to have to show me. That was a great deep ball last week. It was beautiful. 50 yards, 70 yards, because he threw it from the 32. 68 yards on a rope. But the thing that got you against UGA, the thing that got you again at Florida. Now, you are a person that we've given a lot of excuses for, and I don't want to say excuses, a lot of bail to, because bad coaching. Yeah, bad coaching. But I told you in the preseason picks, I said, hey, he's only had 17 starts since high school. 17.
And that's the good and bad part about it is he needs reps. I mean, you're right. You've only started that many games. You had to play with Billy. So hopefully the Colts will be a little bit more patient than the Panthers. It's in your best interest.
Yeah, I mean, he's too much of a freak of nature. I think his ceiling is Josh Allen. If you can get this correct, this is his ceiling, and you probably need to go get a receiver.
And it ain't gotta be perfect. It's just gotta be pretty good.
But you can't have. You have to be as good as Josh Allen is throwing the ball across the middle, and just period throwing the ball in order to excuse the interceptions. Remember, Josh Allen leads the league in interceptions every year. Correct. But the thing is, he keeps winning. Like at the end of the day, he keeps winning. They ain't supposed to win nothing this year. We don't know. They got Keon Coleman and the Pips. We don't know nobody else who's the receiver on that.
The pippiest of Pips.
Curtis Samuel, who's a running back, return man / receiver. Like they got those guys.
You shouldn't have pissed off your number one wide receiver.
Well, I mean, it don't. Hey, look, hey, they win.